Good morning everyone. Today we're going to be talking about enhancement, multi-weapon system, potentials, augmenting, the whole shazam. Now I did record this already once, but I realized my mic was muted for the entire duration. So this is take 2. But first of all, if you're new to the channel, I upload PSO2 content daily. So if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe, as it really helps out the channel since this is the second take and I can't believe I muted my mic. But anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Disclaimer, all the information as well as the footage is taken from New Genesis closed beta 2 test, so everything is subject to change. So first things first, and that is pressing N to open up the minimap and understanding the shop. There are a whole bunch of different shops, but the Affixing one is literally the one right here on our left side with the purple banner, alright? We're going to talk to her over here, and you're going to notice that there are 5 different options, and maybe for the observant few, you're going to notice that Dudu's not here. Because Monica, supreme race, right? On a serious note, I don't actually know who the heck this is, but it's not Monica and it's not Dudu. So I wonder what happened to them. Either way, let's go through each option one at a time. So option number 1 here is enhancement. It's very simple. You're simply going to enhance a weapon. You click on whatever weapon you want, and then you can feed other items into it in order to increase its enhancement level. And you can also tell that different weapons give different amounts of EXP. So you can see over here that this is a 1-star weapon, gives 150 EXP. This is a 2-star weapon, gives 200 EXP. And this is a +1 1-star weapon, gives 262. I don't know where this number comes from, but probably it's like the amount of the enhancement of that weapon. But depending on what rarity weapon you use, it gives different varying amounts. So 1 star is 150, 2 stars is 200, and 3 stars is 300. And that's the varying amounts of EXP. Alright, so super duper easy. Now do keep in mind that in order to grind stuff, you will need grinders. They're called end grinders over here, so new grinders, I guess. And in order to get these end grinders, you're gonna have to watch my gathering video where I literally go around and I break boxes and gather for end grinders. But yeah, you're gonna need a ton of these because every weapon that you add in will consume 1 grinder. So that concludes enhancement. Very simple. However, certain weapons can only be enhanced to a certain level. So again, if we look at the 1-star weapon over here, and if we go to the second page, you're going to notice that the maximum level that this can be enhanced is level 10. In order to enhance this further, you'll need to limit break the weapon. However, the nice thing about the 3-star weapons is 3-star weapons can go directly to level 30. So you do not need to limit break the 3-star weapons. However, 2 stars as well as 1 stars, you will need to limit break it in order to upgrade the weapon to +30. And +30 seems to be the maximum in the closed beta. I'm unable to test it simply because it is very expensive to upgrade your weapon and you know, enhance it all the way that high. So while we're on the topic of limit breaking, let's talk about it. And that would be the second option. The second option over here is limit breaking, and you're able to increase the maximum enhancement level of said weapon. But you're going to notice that over here that my 3-star rarity weapon is grayed out because you cannot increase this any further. The maximum enhancement level for the 3-star weapon is going to be +30 over here, and it can't go any higher. So even though they said in the trailers that weapons can go up to +40, in the CBT, or at least in this closed beta, we can only get up to +30. Alright, so let's say that I want to limit break my 2-star weapon. You can see here that I can increase the maximum level or the maximum enhancement level from level 20 to level 30. However, it will cost some materials, which I need to go out into the open world to collect all of these different ores, as well as 30,000 Meseta. Okay? And then over here for the 1-star weapons, I would need to limit break this twice. So I limit break this once in order to get it to level 20. Then I need to limit break it once more once it's level 20 in order to get it to level 30. Okay? And it's also going to cost a different material, which again, I need to go out into the open world and mine for these materials and gather for all of these things. And everyone loves spamming this rappy butt emote. I love it. I love it. It's great. But anyway, moving on to the topic that most of you guys are here for, and that is augmenting or affixing. And that is the third option. So the way that augmenting and affixing works, it is very straightforward, very simple now. So you can see, first of all, your weapon has a set number of slots. At the moment from the closed beta, there is no way to upslot an item. So you can see here that technically, even though I can put multiple affixes, like let's see, I can put 2 affixes over here, right? And even though it says here there are multiple slots, all of these slots are locked. It just says that you cannot use this slot. It is locked. You can only use slot 1 and 2, which means I can only put 2 affixes onto the weapon. So you're going to notice over here that it's 100%. But that is because I put 10 capsules here. But this is the big thing that a lot of people need to understand. It does not guarantee you 100% if you put 10 capsules of a certain affix. Because if I scroll down here to one of the more powerful affixes over here, let's say that I want this ability over here, which increases my HP by 10, as well as, I don't know if that's damage reduction 2% or damage increase by 2%. Either way, let's say I want to put 10 of these and I do confirm. You're going to see that it's not 100%, it's 80% chance of success, alright? So just because you have 10 capsules does not guarantee that it is a 100% chance. However, the nice thing is you can work one affix at a time. So let's say I want to put this ability on, right? So let's affix and let's just put that ability on and boom. Okay, success. You see over here, it's success 80% and nothing failed, right? So now you can see here that I have a 1-star weapon with a single affix on it. Let's say that I want to put another affix onto the second slot. I do not need to go through the entire process like in vanilla PSO2 where I have to delete everything and retry everything, so forth and so on. It's actually very, very simple. I'm simply going to click on the item and let's say for whatever reason I want to increase my range damage by 1%. I can do that. So I can put 10 capsules of this over here and I do confirm. And you'll see that the previous stat over here, the one that gives me 10 HP as well as the 2% damage reduction, has a 100% chance of success because it's already on the weapon. So whatever's on the weapon or unit already is going to have a 100% chance of success. So no matter what, you can't lose it. All right. And you can see here, because I used 10 capsules of that specific skill, this one is a 100% chance. But let's say that I don't have that many capsules of this specific skill. Maybe I only have 1 capsule. Then you can try that and you can see I only have a 10% success chance. And the nice thing is, even if you fail, you do not downslot. So look, I'm going to gamble here on this 10%. I'm going to start and I'm going to go and just gamble. So you can see over here that I failed the 10% gamble, but it does not downslot the weapon. You can see the weapon is still 2 slots. So slots on your weapon is going to be very, very important because as of the CBT, there is no way to upslot, but there's also no way to downslot, which is very, very nice as well. So technically you can affix 1 augment at a time and just kind of mix and match whatever skills you want. Now do keep in mind certain abilities don't stack on top of each other. So for example, over here is my 3-star weapon. This is the main weapon that I've been using on my hunter. If I click on it and I want to affix it, let's say for whatever reason I want to add might 1 onto my skill over here, right? So I put 1 capsule of might 1. You're going to see over here, because I have might 2 already, I cannot double dip. I can't have might 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all different augments on the same weapon, right? You're gonna have to pick one of them. But in my case, obviously I'm gonna pick might 2 and not might 1 because, you know, I have might 2 already, right? So certain augments don't overlap like that. But you can see here that if I want to keep the augments that I had before, it's 100% chance success rate, which is very, very nice. So that concludes augmenting. Next up is potentials. So a lot of people kind of sleep on potentials, but in NGS, potentials are so important. So we can see here that each weapon series has different potentials, but because we are in the closed beta, we only have 1 series of weapon for each rarity. So for example, if I look at the sword over here, this will give me 18% damage as well as 20% chance to not consume a healing item when I use it. However, when I scroll down over here and I look at the 1-star rarity fists, it also gives the exact same potential, plus 18% damage, 20% chance to not consume a healing item when I use it. And if I look at the 1-star rods over here, it also gives the exact same potential. The reason for this is because the 1-star weapons at the moment are all the same weapon series. Okay, now next up are the 2-star rarity weapons. The 2-star rarity weapons over here gives you plus 18% potential or 18% DPS and gives you 10% resistant to knockdown. So this is very, very useful, especially if you're a melee class. However, things get much more interesting at the 3-star weapons. So over here, this is my main weapon. This is my 3-star greatsword or hunter sword or whatever you want to call it. And you can see here that I have already potential level 1, which gives me 17% DPS increase and increased critical rate. So over here, you're going to notice that, hey, it only gives 17% DPS, while the 1-star and 2-star weapons gave 18% DPS increase. So isn't the lower rarity weapons better? Well, the thing is the base damage of 3-star rarity weapons are higher, obviously. So overall, you still get more DPS. But on top of that, you can increase your potential. So you can see over here that I have potential level 1, which is 17% DPS increase. I can upgrade this further to potential level 2, increase my DPS by 19% and increase my critical rate even further, which is very, very nice. So this is super duper important, and I feel like this is going to be like the bread and butter of character progression. It's you're gonna farm for a high rarity weapon. Once you get it, then you're gonna go to the open world and you're gonna start farming for all of these materials over here. So these materials are mined materials or mining materials. You literally have to go out to the open world, find like caves and stuff, and there's just like ore deposits just sitting there on the ground, and you have to break them and you have to pick them up. Again, if you want to know more information about this, I recommend you guys to watch my gathering video as I showcase it. That's basically how you're going to be upgrading your weapon, and I feel like upgrading the weapon's potential gives you far more DPS increase compared to what affixes we have right now. But then again, things may change because we are currently only in the closed beta 2. Okay? And last but not least, but probably the most fun one, is the multi-weapon system. So over here, the last option is the multi-weapon system. When I click on this, do keep in mind you can only multi-weapon with the same weapon series. So for example, the 1-star rarity weapons, I can only merge it with other 1-star rarity weapons because these are the same type. They all have the same potential. However, let's say I want to merge a 2-star rarity weapon. I can only merge 2-star rarity weapons with another 2-star rarity weapon. You can see here that this is the smiley face weapon series, right? I'm just going to dub it the smiley face weapon series. So if I want to merge any of the smiley face weapons, they all have to be of the smiley face weapon series in order to merge them together. I cannot merge different weapon types together. So for example, let's say that I'm coming from PSO2, I have my Crass weapon or my Klaus weapon, right? And I transfer it over into New Genesis. I will not be able to use the multi-weapon system unless I have 2 Klaus weapons. I won't be able to merge the Klaus weapon with like my 3-star weapon over here or anything, all right? They have to be of the same weapon series. All right, so that is something very, very important. The next thing, which is also very important, is once you've merged your weapons together, you cannot unmerge them. All right, so if you look at my weapon over here, you're going to notice that I have merged 2 3-star rarity weapons together already, which is my sword as well as my TMGs. But this allows me to put different abilities on the same weapon palette. So I can use TMG abilities and sword abilities on the same weapon palette and hot swap it in between very, very easily. I can even go a step further and have the hunter weapon action with my TMGs. So I'm shooting with TMGs and then it's like, oh no, I'm about to get hit. I can use my hunter weapon action immediately. It will instantly switch to my sword, counter the attack, and then deal additional damage, and then immediately switch back to my TMGs, all in like 0.5 seconds. It's really, really nice. It's really, really cool. However, it will take time to get used to, mainly because of our muscle memory. We've been playing regular PSO2 so much that we're kind of used to just using the scroll wheel to switch weapon palettes when we want to use a different weapon. So it does take a little bit of time to get used to it, but it is really, really cool. So like, for example, let's say you're not very confident in your countering ability or your blocking ability, you could always use the TMG weapon action, which is the dodge roll. So you can attack normally with your sword and do your sword PAs, and then when an enemy is about to hit you, instead of countering or blocking, you can use a dodge roll and just whoop and sidestep away from the attack, and super duper easy. All right, so this is the magical thing about the multi-weapon system. Now, let me show you how to actually combine the weapons, just because, you know, the closed beta is ending in a couple hours, so I might as well use all my resources. Let's say I want to link it with this rod, right? So I can click here. Now, it will consume a lot of money. 50,000 Meseta is a lot in New Genesis, at least from the closed beta, because we don't get a lot of Meseta. Meseta is actually pretty difficult to come by, so it is quite expensive, and will also cost 10 of these smiley face ores. Again, these smiley face ores are pretty annoying to get as well. It's more of an endgame area at the moment in CBT. But you can see that I farmed 41 of them just for this video. And you're going to click yes, and boom. Now you have merged the weapon, the sword, and the rod together. So you can see that now there's two symbols over here. It's now sword and rod. Now, do remember the main weapon is the one that counts. So in this case, the main weapon is the sword. And over here, I messed up really badly because I made my main weapon the sword over here, even though I wanted to play Gunner main class. The reason I wanted to play Gunner main class was because I wanted to do the chain combo. So chain combo does not work if my Gunner is the subclass. So I made Gunner main class, but the problem is because it's registering the main weapon as a sword and not as the TMG in the multi-weapon system, even though I'm using a TMG with my Gunner as the main class, it will not proc chain combo for me. So maybe I should just showcase it to you so that you guys can understand it a little bit better. So we're gonna head outside now. So what you're gonna notice is normally if you use a charge PA with the TMGs, it will activate chain combo. But you can see here that it's not activating simply because it's registering as my main weapon as the sword and not as the TMG. So that's really unfortunate. So it's really important to make sure that you select the right main weapon, all right? Because you don't want to mess this up. So the multi-weapon system is really cool in the sense that I can go in with my sword and let's say I'm in trouble, I can dodge roll immediately. You see, I'm just holding down shift and I switch to my TMGs. And if I let go of shift, I'm back into my sword. But you can mix this up on however you like in your weapon palette, which is super duper useful. So over there, we just killed the rock bear. So let us just go to our weapon palette to show you that you can go and do crazy things. Like right here, let's say that you don't want the block. Let's say you want the dodge roll. Simply click here and click on weapon action and boom, done. So now when I'm attacking normally over here, let's say that I want to kill this guy, I can dodge roll and attack, dodge roll and attack. Dodge roll and attack. So you can see when I'm doing the dodge roll, I immediately switch to my TMGs, but I can immediately switch back to my sword simply by left clicking. So it's super useful. I can even do the charge attack right here and then dodge. You see? So you can use this to animation cancel in order to maximize your DPS, or just, you know, it's just a quality of life thing to make your life much easier. And that concludes the multi-weapon system. Now, I just found out that when you get your weapon to +20, you actually gain an additional slot. So if you look over here, my weapon over here, I got it to +21. And you can see that I gained a third slot for free. Unfortunately, when you get the weapon to +30, which is the maximum, you do not gain an additional slot. So you only gain one slot when I got it to +20. So I'm not entirely sure how the upslotting process is going to work. But then again, you know, everything is subject to change since it is only CBT2. But this is definitely very nice, very promising, because you want to enhance your weapon to gain more damage anyway. So it's kind of killing two birds with one stone, and getting the additional augment slot is definitely very nice because now I can add more affixes. Alright, so before we end the video, let me just do some simple affixing or augmenting. I'm gonna add one more augment over here. Let's add this one over here and go, yep. And you can see it pops up right here, 100%. So the first two abilities originally on the weapon is this and this. So you can see it's 100% because it's originally been on the weapon. Then we can add in this one and boom. And voila, now we have 3 augments on this weapon. You see that the success rate was only that specific augment that we added, the third augment. The other 2, there's no chance involved in those. Those are guaranteed to be on your weapon or your unit because you've got them on it already. Alright? But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!
What can I say except you're welcome? For the heals, the boosts, the rest.